Okay, we're gonna make image slider as easy as we can. Yeah, pretty basic. Explain it as I go. Alright, so we start off blank. Where's our sublime? Alright, so the first thing we want to do is make a div for the whole slider to really fit into, and we'll call this slider. Alright. Next main thing is we'll have a container for our images that all our images will sit inside of. You know, it's just so like we can have content outside of the image container or on top of it. So we have another div class image slider, and in here is where we will put all of our images. So we'll make 10 to start with. Should be enough. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, something like that. That's good enough. And inside each of these divs, we will have our image. Alright. Alright, so let's just find the images. I have mine here in images folder. Alright, so we'll do, just link it all up quickly. Let's go. And then there's much faster ways of doing this. I'm doing it the slow way. Alright, I'll just get them random. Don't really care about order. If you worry about the order, then you can do it the nice way. Right now we're not too fast. Okay, and if we look at this now, where are we? We basically just have our images stacked up, normal flow, one underneath. Alright, let's get back. Alrighty. So we need to style it. Okay, so we'll go into our CSS here. So the first thing we'll do is we'll set up our slider, the actual container that everything will sit inside of. So class.slider, we'll give it a width of 60 EMs, height of 20 EMs, margin, so 10 EM auto, just so it sits nice and even on the screen. Now, the reason we use position now is because we want all of these to sit on top of each other. In order to do that, the parent, alright, and the parent of the images, alright, even though it's image slider, slider is the main parent of the whole lot. So we make this position relative so that when we make these absolute, they will fit on top of each other inside this box here. Okay, so you want them to sit all on top. We'll space them out later, but now to start off with, we just want them to sit all on top of each other. Alright, so position relative, and we'll go. So now we're going to go to image container div. So we're selecting all of these divs inside the image slider. Alright, spell that wrong. Slider. Alright. Now these, like I said, these are going to be position absolute. First thing we're going to do, because now we know that they're all going to sit on top of each other. Alright. Just for time's sake. Alright, so there we go. And now they're all on top of each other. There we go. Alright, so they've been spaced out over here with the margin, and this is where it sits. Right, let's go and put a bit of a border around it. Alright, so you can see exactly the slider container. Alright, this is the slider container, and all your images now are stacked on top of each other. Okay, so let's get back to it. Now, where are we? Okay. All of our images, we need to move so that, like here, you have images on this side that go all the way through, and images there that just keep coming from the left, from the right, on and on. Alright, right now they're all on top of each other, so we really need to move them out and get them ready to be a slider. So we'll say, oopsie, go back here. Okay. Now we're gonna make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So what we're gonna do is give all of these first divs a class name. Alright. I'm gonna say this is the one on the very left. Okay. The next one is current left, so the one right next to your main image. We'll call this current, so this is the image that you're currently on in the middle. So this will be current, this will be current left, and the one here that you wouldn't see is left. We'll make this current right, and the one next to that will just be right. So class current right. Right. Okay. So there we go. Ready to move them around in our CSS. So the first one we'll move is our left. So image slider. So we point out all the divs and the div with the class name of left. Alright, this is the one that we're going to change first. So we're going to say we want it left, right? Because they're all position absolute, right? So you can use top, left, right, and everything. Okay, and we're going to use -70 EM to move it backwards off the screen. All right, and then we're going to say display block, and up here should actually be display none. So nothing shows on any images now with this. Display block means that these images that are the left, current are display block. They're visible images. But what we've done is we've cut them off after the container. Alright? So without jumping around on our slider, we're going to say overflow hidden. Okay? But I'll show you why we do that shortly. Okay, leave it out. Alright, let's just position all these first. And we have our next one. So dot image slider div current left. Right, okay. Then we're going to say we want this left, say 30 EMs. -30 actually, sorry. and again display block. And do image slider current. So current, all right, our main one that we are on, you can see that it's not against the side of the box here like this one is. All right, we actually want it in the middle. Okay, so because our box is 60 EMs in width and our image is 40 EMs in width, all right, we have 20 EM left over. Basically 20 EM divided by 2, you know, you've got 10 EMs on this side, 10 EMs on either side. All right, so when we style it, we're going to say we want it left 10 EM. All right, and that'll bring it over into the middle. All right, you should just have a quick look. Maybe here. All right, over she goes. Actually, she's being silly. Current left display block. Silly me. That's why it's invisible. There it is. So you can see here, this is the container where it ends, all right? And left 10 EM, you pull it 10 EMs across. All right, and like I said, it's display block, so that's why you can see this one, and the first left will actually be off the screen on the side. Your current right will appear here, and then right will be further off, but we'll get there now. Let's get that done. Current right, left, so we want it to be 50 EM. And then we're going to say our last one, div dot right, it's going to be left 90 EM, display block. Alright, now they should all be in order. Okay, so that's right, current left, and right off the screen is left. Alright, now but we don't want all our images to be permanently visible the whole time. You know, we want it to be inside our parent container. So that's where we get to here and say overflow hidden. And boom, there they are, ready to go. Next thing we're going to do is put in our little arrows. Okay, where are we? So we're going to do them up here, all right, outside of our image container box. As you can see, we're already linked up to Font Awesome up here with our CSS, so just really got to put the class in. Let's say whoopsie, get rid of that. Alright, that's an I tag. So just not going well. Far angle left. Far. Let me say far bigs. It's just the size, and I hope you all know how to get the stuff off Font Awesome. Alright, and then we're gonna just copy all that and just make that one right. So we've got our left and our right. Okay. Where are we? Let's see how we are. Where are they? Alright, you won't see them because they're behind here right now, but they're there. It's on. Okay. So to call our buttons, I should say, we're just going to call the class. So our first one is our left one here. So we're going to say dot far angle left. Right. Now I could say slider first, all right, but because these are the only ones in our whole website, I'm only just going to call this once. But if we had multiple of these, I would say dot slider far angle left. All right, but don't really need to right now. You know, it's pretty only thing there. And just like our images, we're going to make them position absolute, so we can move them around on our page. They have to be on top of our images, so your Z index is going to have to be higher than 1 or 0. So I'm just going to make it 2. Don't like going with stupidly big numbers. We're going to say left 0.5 EM, alright, so that it's not sitting against the container. We just want to have like a little bit of space, you know, in between, just so it sits quite nicely. Let's have a look quickly. Where are you? There you are. It's up there. Okay. You want to say top 50%. All right. And the next thing is transform. All right. And what transform does, all right, let me show you first. So it sits quite low down, and as because of the box, you're saying 50% from the top of this box to here. All right. What we want to do is we want to bring up, so 50%, half of the image, back up. All right. We want to go backwards now. So we're going to say transform, translate. All right. So our first one is 0, all right, because you want to move it left or right, okay, and minus 50%, all right, and that's going to be minus 50% of this box backwards, there, dead center. So that's good, all right, we're happy with that. And then we'll go on to our right side button, far angle right, and it's pretty much exactly the same. But instead of saying left, we're going to say right. All right, there they are. All right, nothing happens at the moment, but it's all there. Okay, now the fun stuff in here. Okay. Whew. So, because we're using Jquery, and we've got it all linked up, we're going to open it up. Let's get it ready. Okay, so we're going to work on the right click, you know, moving right with our images. All right, so we're going to look for right. Okay, I'm going to say on click function. Okay. So when you click on it, something's going to happen. Okay. Now, we're going to make a bunch of variables for each one of these classes to sit inside of. So we know what images we're on and what images we can manipulate. All right, so we're going to say bar left. All right. We're assigning that, see, the class left. So Oh no, what about that? Okay. Stupid Mac. Okay. So our variable left is this whole image here. That is now inside our variable left as we made. And we're going to do the same for the next four. Alright, so we're going to do current left, current right, and right. So we're going to say current left, current left, current is current, current right is current right, and bar right is right again. Yeah. Right. So all our variables now are set to each one of these images. That's pretty much all in here. Alright, the images that you're going to see next after another image changes. Those are the images that we want to manipulate. So the first thing we want to do is we want to say, okay, the left image, alright, our image on the very, very left, alright, we remove class, alright, left. So when you click here and you go right, the image that's at the very end is no longer the second one after the current image. It just becomes nothing. Alright, it's gone. And the one next to that now has to become the very end one. So your current left will have to become left. So we'll say current left. There it is. Alright. Remove class. So we take away the class current left. Alright. So right here we take away this class, and now this one, because we're moving down the order now, has to become left. Alright, so we need to add the next class. So add class left. Then as we move down, we've got current. Alright, so our current obviously changes and moves across over to the left. Okay, so our current is going to be no longer a current. So remove the class of current and add class current left. Okay. Now current right. Alright, current right is this one here. So as you click, this will become your main one. So current right will now become current, obviously your main image. So let's get to it. Current right. So we've taken away current right from it, and we are going to make it current. Alright. And our right one, so our very end image that is visible, alright, we're going to remove the class of right, right, and then we're going to add class to current right. Now we're missing a right. Alright, we've said the one on the very end, this one, we remove the class of it, and this one becomes right. So now we've got nothing for the next one down, which would be this here. Alright, so we need to say if there is another one, okay, if there is another one after here, which there is, but say there wasn't, okay, if there's another one here, another image, all right, we need to make this next image, all right, right, okay. If it's not, then we have to make the first image, the very first one, right. Okay, so we need to do a bit of an if-else statement, okay, just so we know that we're targeting the right element here, all right. So we're gonna say bar new right. All right, we haven't assigned it anything. Okay, we're just saying it's a variable now called new right. I'm gonna say if else. All right. Okay. So you say if right. Okay. Dot next. So this looks for the next sibling. Okay, it looks for the next sibling after right. Okay. So you look for that next sibling. Dot length does not equal 0. All right. So that means that if there is something there, okay, we need to make new right that next sibling. Okay, so if there is something here, this has to become right. That's all we've done here. New right, we've said is right dot next. Right. But if it's not, if there is nothing there, we have to go all the way to the top. You know, so our image can keep going around in a big circle because you don't want it to end and just be white spaces. So you're going to say, if it's not, new right is, all right, we're going to say dot image container, right? So we're going to say dot image container, whoopsie, image slider. Where are we? Keep saying container. So we're going to say image slider. So we've gone here to the parent, all right, the parent, and we're going to say of all the divs that's there, all these divs, all right, the first child, all right, first child. So the very first div that is there, new right will become that. Then we're going to say new right dot add class right. Boom. All right, let's see if that works. Okay, so we go next, and we are not working. Why? New right, much like first child. And I have not made any of these sitting. Alright, let's have a look. No, we still don't work there. Expected identifier 3. 2, 3. Well, that was a big mistake. Anyways, now it works. And now it doesn't work. And click function, left is left, so we move class left. This greater than 0, new right is right next. Current is not defined. Why is it not defined? Crikey. Okay. Good. Something looks weird. There. What are we missing? Too many R's. And again, way too many R's. Don't know why I keep going mental. Oh no, don't go to Google. There we go. Okay. This thing is still going mental. Wow. Good going, Keith. There it is. Perfect. Okay. And now we need to go backwards. Okay. Now, going backwards is pretty straightforward if you can go forwards. Alright. The only tricky thing really is making sure it goes the right way. Okay. So we're going to say angle left, so our left button. Alright. All our variables will stay the same. Alright, these variables only actually count for this function. Alright, so it works for that function, and now the variables will work. These ones will work for this function, even though they're the exact same variables. Alright. So when we go left, alright, we're going to remove the class left. Okay. Now remember, we're going upwards. Alright. And we're going to add class. Alright. Current left. Alright. Going backwards now. Current left is no longer going to be current. Right. Or current left. It's going to be current. Alright. No more current left. It's now your main image. You're going backwards, remember. Your current will now be current right, and current right will now be right, and right is nothing. Alright, but we still don't have a left. We've got a current left, a current right, and a right, but we've got nothing left. Alright, so we keep going backwards. Alright, we keep going up. Alright, we need it to either be the next one up or the very last one. Alright, the very last element. Okay, basically the exact opposite of what we've just done. Okay, so we're going to make a variable. We're going to call it new left. Alright, we're going to say if left. Alright, now next, remember, next only goes down. Alright, your DOM traversal. Next only goes down. We want to go backwards. Alright, so we're going to say left dot previous. Alright, previous is the one before it. Okay, if there is one before it, alright, which there isn't here, but say there was one before it, okay, then our new left will be left previous. Alright, it'll be the previous one. If it's not, which it's not in this case, new left will be, so we've gone back into image slider now, alright, image slider, and we're going to say not the first child, but the last child. Alright, so we're going to go all the way back to this one, and it's going to go up and up and up and up. And new left dot add class left. Alright, so in this case, if we click left now, if we go back, alright, this will be your new left. Alright? And they'll all move upwards. Alright? If you're going forwards, they'll all move downwards. Alright. Let's have a little test. Let's see. And this is how it goes. Yes, yes, yes. We'll just keep going. And it works. Backwards. Frontwards. I think that's that. I'll take out the border. Don't need that anymore. There we go. Image slider. All done.